Hello everybody, FNAF here, and in today's video, I will be showing you guys how to make a Gorilla Tag custom plushie. Like this one. I know I was supposed to make this like months ago, but you know, part 3 took forever to make and I was going to make the tutorial after that came out. So yeah, that's why I'm just now making it. Anyways, let's get straight into the tutorial. So for this tutorial, you're going to need some paper, a hot glue gun, scissors, rulers, any color of felt that you want your Gorilla Tag monkey to be, a gray felt, I'll link the felt I used for this in the description, and black and white felt. So this is everything you need for the Gorilla Tag plush tutorial. If you don't have any felt, I'll link the type of felt I use in this tutorial in the description, just so you guys have it. Anyways, we need to put these to the side because we're not going to need them yet. Because first, we're going to need to cut out the patterns. So you're going to want to get your paper out just right here. And then get your ruler out. Oh yeah, you also need a Sharpie. Also a pencil. Anyways, let's get started. So you're going to want to put your ruler on the paper and line it up with the lined paper right here with the blue line. Make sure it's on centimeters. And if you don't have this kind of paper right here, then that's fine, but the lines might be a little bit off. But just try your best. So you want to gonna line it up and then move it down until it's at 13.8, which is about here. Next, you get your pencil here, and then you make a line that goes right here. Now for me, since I only have one hand, I'm just gonna grab a battery to hold it down so that I can easily just put a line there without it like moving like crazy, so it isn't off. So yeah, so you just go like this, and I will probably like make the mark really deep here just so that you know where the top is. So after you did that, it should come out looking like this right here, a straight line. Next, I want you to grab your ruler again and then line it up to the bottom of your line. And then get your pencil here and then make a line until about 7 centimeters. And if you did it correctly, it should come out like this right here. Which the mini line down here, it should end at a blue line. Then you're going to want to take your ruler again, put it at the end of this line, the line you just made. And then make sure to line it up and then put a line there until it's about 3.8 centimeters. After you did that, it should come out looking like this right here. 2 lines right here, which should be about the same in terms of how tall they are. Then you're going to want to get your ruler out again and line this up right here. Line it up like this. And then you're going to want to put a line there too. If you did that correctly, it should come out like this. This little rectangle right here. Next, get your ruler again and then line it up right here. Then you're going to want to find the halfway point, which is going to be 3.5, which is right there. Then you're going to want to mark that with your pencil and then make a straight line going down that. The halfway point should be on a blue line. So yeah, it's right here. And then you're going to want to get your ruler, make it like this, and then put a line there. So it should come out like this right here, straight down the middle. Now we're going to find the middle for this part. So I want you to get your ruler out, put it against this line, make sure it lines up, and then you're going to find the middle point, which is going to be 6.9. Haha, funny number. Okay, anyways, I'm going to find the middle point, which is 6.9, which is right here. Then you're going to want to repeat what you just did, but for this side. Now you're going to connect those 2 points together, like this. So you get your ruler, you try to line them up, and then you put a line there. If you did everything correctly, it should come out looking like this. Now, since we have all that marked, we're actually going to draw the pattern on here. So here on screen is the pattern we are trying to recreate onto this paper right here. Try to be as accurate as possible, but it shouldn't be too difficult. So yeah, so I'm just going to use this as a reference to help me actually, you know, draw it on here. So yeah. If you'd rather just not do that, you can just like get an iPad and then put the pattern on the iPad and make sure it fits within here. And then just trace it out. So it should come out something like this, which I try to be as accurate as possible, and I think I did a good job. Now you're going to want to cut it out with your scissors. So it should come out looking like this, right here. Now, put this aside and put this paper aside, because we're going to need a new one. Now, put the thing you just made right here onto the paper and make sure to line it up with the edges with this and that. After you do that, I would get something like this, for example, and like put it on it just so that the paper here just stays and it doesn't move. Now I want you to trace your template, aka pattern, onto the paper here. Okay, so after you did that, you're gonna want to get your pattern again and place it right here at the other side of the paper. Now, instead of just tracing it onto the paper, you're going to want to get your ruler, line them up like this, and then just put a line there. So after you put that line on your paper, you're going to want to get your little template or whatever and put it here. Make sure it looks like that right there. Then you're going to want to trace that onto the paper here. And you're going to repeat this step 2 more times after this. Now it should look like this right here. Next, I want you to get your pencil. Use the eraser to erase these parts right here. Like that. Now it's time to actually cut the pattern out with your scissors. Okay, so it should come out looking like this right here. After that, you're going to put this to the side, and then you're going to want to grab the paper that we saved from earlier. Now it's time to do the arms. So you're going to get your ruler out again, and then line it up with the blue lines on here. Then mark a line using your pencil until it's at 12 centimeters, which is right here. Now, get your ruler out again and line it up with the top here. Make sure it's going completely straight. It's not a little bit off. After you line it up, you're going to want to get your pencil out and then make a line until it's at 5 centimeters, which is right here. So after you put that line there, we're going to get your ruler out again and then line it up with the blue line right here, which should be at 5 centimeters. And then just put a line down there. So after you did all that, it should come out looking like this right here. And now it's time to get your scissors and cut this out. Now you finally got the pattern or template for your arms. Now it's time to do the stomach piece. So we're going to get rid of this paper because we don't need it anymore. Put your little arm piece to the side. And then get a new piece of paper. So you're going to want to get your ruler. Line it up with the blue lines. Have it be at 7.8 centimeters. Which is right around here. Then you're going to want to get your pencil out and then draw a line there. So after you get a line on there, you're going to get your ruler out again and then line it up with the top of your line, which is right here. Make sure it's going straight and not going like this. After that, you're going to want to make another line using your pencil. That is 7.8 centimeters. After that, you're going to want to make another line that goes down here. So I'm going to line this up like this, and then just make a line down there. So it should come out looking like this. Now you're going to get your ruler, line it up with this line right here, like that, and then find the middle point, which is going to be 3.9. Okay, so after you get the middle point marked, which should be in between two blue lines, you're going to want to get your ruler out like that, and then just put a line straight down there. It should look like this right here, straight down the middle. Now we're going to do the same thing, but for this side right here. So we're going to get our ruler, line it up, and then mark the middle, which is 3.9. We're going to do the same thing, but on this side too. So we're going to go like that, then mark the middle for this side. So after you got that done, we're going to connect these 2 points together with a line. So you're going to line them up, then just put a line across there. So it should come out looking like this, right here. Both lines straight down the middle. Now we're going to try to recreate a circle, which might be a bit challenging. It doesn't have to be perfect. For instance, the original stomach piece I drawn out isn't really a perfect circle, but it still looks good on the gorillas, and you don't really even notice it. So just try your best to draw a circle out here, but it shouldn't be too hard since we marked the middles here, so it should be pretty easy. So it should look something like this, which I don't think it's perfect, but it looks nearly identical to a perfect circle anyway. So now we're going to cut this out here. So it should come out looking like this right here. So we're going to put this to the side right here with everything else. And then we're going to use the same paper to cut out the face piece, which is this thing right here. Okay, so we're going to get our ruler, put it on the paper, line up with the blue lines, and then put it until it's at 7.5. And just put a line down there. So after you put that line on there, you want to get your ruler again. Make sure it's on centimeters. And then line it up with the top of your line here. Make sure it's straight. Then put a line there until it's at 7.9. So after you get that line on there, like that, you're going to line your ruler up at the end of the line, and then put a line straight down here. Okay, so after you get the line on there, it should look like this. A nice, nearly perfect square. Next, get your ruler, make sure it's on centimeters, and then line it up with your little square right here. After you line it up, you're going to want to mark the points 2 centimeters and 6 centimeters. So after you get those points marked on there, you're going to get your ruler, line up with the points, and then get your ruler to be 3.3 centimeters. Then you're going to want to grab your pencil and then put a line down there. After you get the line on there, like that, you're going to repeat that step, but for this point now. So after you did that, it should look like this, right here. Just 2 lines. Now you're going to put 2 straight lines right here and right here. So I actually realized I was a little bit off with these two, so we're going to fix that right now. Okay, there we go. That looks much better. Now you're going to try to recreate this right here, which is the template I use to make the gorilla faces, like this guy. So yeah, just try your best to recreate this. So yeah. It should look something like this, which is honestly really close to how my original was. Now it's time to cut out the face with our scissors. And there we go. Our face template is now cut out. Now we officially cut out all the patterns and templates we need for this tutorial. Now it's time to get these patterns and templates onto the actual felt. So we're just going to get rid of this paper here since we don't need it anymore. And we're going to grab the color felt you chose for your gorilla. We're first going to cut out the body and head. So you're going to want to get that out right here. Make sure to line it up like this right here. Now you're going to want to go ahead and grab your Sharpie and then trace your pattern onto the felt. I would get something long like this TV remote here and place it on your template so it doesn't move while you trace it. If you want, you can also get a color coordinated marker so that it just doesn't like show up on the outside. Like on this guy's arm, you can see a little bit of black right there. Doesn't ruin it, it just shouldn't be there. So using that color coordinated marker would just help, you know, semi-eliminate that. Anyways, now it's time to trace it. Okay, so it should look exactly like this right here. Now since you did that, it's time to cut it out with your scissors. Okay, so it should turn out like this. So we're going to do that again, but on a different piece of felt. Unless your felt's bigger than this, because I can't really copy this pattern on here since it's just too big. Okay, let's get started on copying the pattern on this piece of felt right here. Now it's time to cut it out again. So after you did that, you want to put this to the side and grab your arm template, which mine is over here, because we are going to be cutting out the arms now. So you're going to want to line up your arm with the felt right here, just like that right there. And then you're going to want to grab your ruler, line it up with the arm right here, like that, and then take it out and then put a line there. Okay, so after you got that line on there, you're doing the same thing but for the top of the felt here. So you're going to want to put your arm template on the felt and line it up just like that. And get your ruler, line it up with the paper, and then put a line down there. So after you got both lines on there, you're going to want to get your ruler again, line up the start for each line like that. Then put a line across here. So it should come out looking like this. Next, you're going to want to grab your arm template again. Make sure to line it up like that. Then you're going to want to get your ruler, line it up with the top of the paper. And then after you line it up perfectly, you're going to want to take your paper off and then put a line right there. So it should look something like this. And now you're going to do the same thing but just on top of the line you just put. Okay, so after you do all that, it should look like this right here. Now you're going to cut it out with your scissors. So after you cut them out, it should look like this right here. And we're going to save this piece for later, so don't get rid of it. Anyways, we're going to repeat what we just did, but on another piece of felt. If you ran out of room on your felt like me. If not, then just do it on the same piece of felt. Okay, we finally got the arm pieces cut out. Now it's time to cut out the face and the body. So you're going to want to get your gray felt here. And we're first going to do the body. So you want to get your body. Make sure to line it up with the edges like that. Now you're going to trace it with your marker here. And just like with literally everything else, I will put something on top of it so it doesn't move while you're doing it. Okay, now it's time to cut it out with your trusty old scissors. Okay, so after you got your stomach piece cut out, you're gonna want to get your face template or whatever, put it on the felt, and then trace it out with your marker. Now it's time to cut it out with our scissors. Okay, so we officially cut out everything we need to cut out, at least for now. Now it's time to actually hot glue everything together. So we're going to get all this gray felt out of here and get our hot glue gun. So we're first going to do the body, aka the head. Okay, so what you're going to want to do with your hot glue gun is you're going to want to glue this right here and then put this on top of it and then hold it down for like 30 seconds. Also, to make sure to not put too much hot glue in there, because that could mess up the felt. But just go ahead and tap it like this for like a good 30 seconds, I'd say. And it should look like this right here. And now you're going to repeat that step 3 more times on these ones right here. Okay, so it should look something like this right here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to grab your felt and then use your hot glue this part. Make sure not put too much, like me, I put quite a bit, and then just slap it on there like that. And just hold it for like a good 20 to 30 seconds. But really, you shouldn't have to hold it for 30 seconds because hot glue dries out real fast, which is what makes it great. So it should look like this right here. Then you're going to want to stretch out your felt a little bit like that. And then just hot glue this part right here. Okay, so it should look something like this right here. And now you're doing the same thing but on this side. If you did everything correctly, it should look something like this right here. It kind of looks like Pac-Man from the side. Now you're going to want to get your felt like this, hot glue this part, and then put this part on top of that. So like this right here. So I'm going to hot glue the middle spot, and then you're going to want to put this on top of the hot glue, and then just press on it for like a good 15 to 20 seconds. Okay, so after you did that right here, you're going to want to stuff your thing up with cotton or stuffing or whatever. I forgot to say that in the beginning, but yes, you're going to need some cotton, obviously. So you're just going to get your cotton or whatever and stuff it in there. But make sure to not put too much in there, because otherwise it won't be that squishy. It'll be just kind of hard, which you do not want that in a plush. You want to find the perfect balance. Okay, so after you stuffed it up enough, you're going to want to hot glue both sides right here. Okay, so it should look something like this right here. Now, I know it looks a bit weird right now, but don't worry, it'll look better once the plush is finished. Now it's time to repeat that same process, but for the second pattern you cut out right here. Okay, now since we got those two finally hot glued together and stuffed up, it's now time to do the same to the arms. So what you're going to want to do is to grab one of your arms, and then you're going to want to hot glue this part right here, and then put the other piece on here, and make sure to line it up perfectly, otherwise it'll be a little bit off. Okay, so after you did that, it should look like this right here. Now what you're gonna do is fold this like this right here, then hot glue this part right here, and then fold this part right here too. So it's like that right there. Okay, so it should look something like this right here. Now what you're going to do is stuff it up. But don't fill it up all the way, just fill up like half of it. Now since you got your arms somewhat filled up, you're going to want to take the piece right here you saved, and then hot glue it onto here. This side, which is the side with the little marker stains right here, would be the side you would just hot glue like this. Now you're going to use your scissors right here to cut out this part right here. Okay, now since you did that, it should look like this right here. Now it's time to fill up the rest of the arm. Remember to not overstuff it. Okay, so after you stuffed up your arm, you're going to want to hot glue this part right here and then close it like this. If you did everything correctly, your arm should look like this right here. Now, this part is optional, but usually what I do for my arms is I usually do this right here and then just hot glue that part just so that it's not just like straight and more like an angle like this. So yeah, this part is optional, but I would do it because I've been doing it ever since my first plush. So yeah, so you just go like that and you press on it for good, I'd say 20 to 30 seconds, because if not, then it'll just fall apart. Okay, so I think that's good. And yeah, look, I know this part looks weird, but you're not really going to see that part anyway, but it should look like this now. Anyways, now you're going to repeat that for the second arm over there. Okay, now since we got both arms done, now it's time to put the stomach piece and the face on the body and the head. So what you're going to do is you're going to get your face pattern, put it on here, make sure it's on the middle, make sure it's like that, and then just hot glue it on. Okay, so it should look like this right here. Now it's time to put the stomach piece onto the body. So you're going to grab your stomach piece, make sure it's on this side right here, and then you're going to grab your stomach piece right here. Make sure to line it up correctly like this right here, and then you just hot glue it on to the body. Now it's time to add the rest of the details to the face, like the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the ears. So you're going to want to get your white felt out and your black felt out. So you're going to want to make the eyes around this size right here, which you should have a good idea on how big that is just by looking at this video. Okay, now since you got your little eyepieces here cut out, now it's time to add the black part of his eyes. Okay, so it should look something like this right here. Now we're going to cut out a little bit of white here to add this part on the eyes. Okay, so it should look like this right here. Now we're going to hot glue everything together. Okay, so after you glued everything together, it's time to cut out two little circles which are supposed to be the nose. Okay, so after you got the two little circles cut out, you're going to want to hot glue them onto the face. Okay, now it's time to cut out the face. So you're going to want to make the face look like this right here. Okay, so the mouth should look like this right here. Now it's time to hot glue it on to the face. Okay, now it's time for the final thing before we glue everything together. We need to add the ears onto the head. So you're going to get out your gray felt and then cut out the ears. So you're going to go ahead, cut out the gray felt like this, around this big right here. Then you're gonna make a shape like this for each ear. Okay, so after you got your little ear pieces cut out, it's time to glue them onto both sides of the head. Okay, so the head should look something like this right here. Now it's time to hot glue everything together. Okay, so we're first going to glue the head and the body together. What you're going to do is just circle the middle of the thing around with a bunch of hot glue. Like this. And then once you put enough, like this is good right here. This is good. You're going to want to line things up correctly and then just slap the head on there. Slap the head on there. Make sure it's in the middle and angled properly. Just squish it. Then I'll just keep squishing it for a good 20 to 30 seconds. Probably do more than 30 seconds just so that it stays there well. Because if you let go too early, then it can easily just like fall apart. Okay, so after a bit, you can let go. So it should look something like this right here. If your head is wobbly, then you can add more hot glue around here, just so that it's more secure on the head. But mine's good. I'm actually gonna loosen the head a bit, just because it's a little bit off between this side and this side. So I'm just gonna try to, get the hot glue to stop sticking. There we go. Now it looks good. Okay, now it's time to glue both arms on the gorilla. So you're gonna want to add hot glue on here, and then you're just gonna want to put the arm on the gorilla. Make sure not put too much hot glue. And make sure to push hard. I will probably hold this one for like 30 to a minute. Because just like with the head, if you let go too early, it might just fall off real easily. Also make sure to angle it right whenever you put it on. Okay, so it should look something like this right here. Now you're going to repeat that, but for the other arm. So there we have it. Our custom Gorilla Tag custom plushie is finished. And this one honestly turned out pretty good. So here's this Gorilla Tag custom plushie compared to this one right here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Also, if you were wondering why the gorilla in my thumbnail had a finger painter, that's just because I made this cosmetic for my Gorilla Tag Plush Part 3 video, but I never actually put it on a gorilla, so I thought I would just put it on this one.